Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal. Dr. Brandon Nielsen is back with us, and we have a great little message about your brain.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited.
go.
So let's talk about the brain. When we talk about the four pillars that the brain need to manage or make energy, let's talk about this. Four pillars of the brain. In order to keep your brain healthy, you must have oxygen. And then I'll discuss these, and then I'll tell you how we gain more oxygen. The next thing with the brain is you must have glucose. We know that, and I'm not talking about too much glucose, but your brain is the organ that uses the most glucose in the body. So oxygen, glucose. The next thing in order to keep your brain alive is you must have stimulation. If you stop moving, if you are inactive, a lot of times we think we die, but yeah, it's your brain that dies. Your brain, once you stop, I mean, even me moving, giving stimulation through my eyes, and I'm not talking about TV, you've got to have stimulation, body movement. And then the next pillar is maintaining or keeping at bay oxidative stress, so let's talk about that now. With oxygen, how do we get oxygen to the brain? Some of the best things are coming out now, even research, and it kind of goes along with stimulation, but oxygenation to the brain, yes, of course, breathing in and out. But when we think about this, we generally think, okay, how do you get oxygen to the brain? You take oxygen. Well, yes, if you have sleep apnea, you need to have something like a CPAP machine. I recommend that, but also getting oxygen to the brain. How? How do we get oxygen to the brain?
Movement.
Movement, exactly right.
Yeah.
Movement. When you get movement, you actually oxygenate your brain. There are some other things, of course, chlorophyll. Interestingly enough, chlorophyll, when we look at chlorophyll, it is just very similar to our red blood cells. It's the red blood cell, or it's the green blood cell for a plant.
Yeah.
It is our red blood cell. It's very similar to chlorophyll and oxygenation. When Jane talks about movement, one of the best ways, and we've talked about that in a previous video, is asking, but also meditation. Because when you meditate, generally you're focusing on your breathing. Another great exercise for oxygenation and stimulation, so hitting or killing two birds with one stone, is yoga. Yoga is phenomenal, so that movement. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you about oxygenation is that with movement is even exercise, even walking, always focus on breathing. Okay, so next would be glucose. Now, a lot of times people get confused about glucose and they think, well, diabetes, you have more blood sugars, right? You do. The problem is it's not getting into the cell and it's not getting into the brain. So when you don't get blood sugars into your brain starts to die. One other thing I wanted to tell you about is with metabolism, your metabolism and oxygenation and thyroid health is super important as far as metabolism. So oxygenation, glucose, or glucose metabolism, super important. So if you tend towards sweets, and I know Jane is big on this, what that causes is both oxidative stress on the brain, and it also causes us to cause inflammation, which is stress on the brain, and it causes us to increase production of insulin, which also causes stress on the brain. So maintaining healthy glucose levels. And then, so on that, I would say make sure you're eating good fats.
I was about to ask you, so
Yes.
tell them, maintaining is good fats.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And good fats are coconut oil,
avocado oil,
avocado oil.
And olive oil, but don't cook your olive oil.
Right.
Olive oil, I really like those, and yeah, those are the best. Some seeds and nuts, don't overdo it. I see a lot of people overdo it on seeds and nuts. They want something to snack on, and they'll overdo it on their seeds and nuts because it's something that they can grab quickly. So a little handful, is a little handful. I see people get 3, 4, 5 handfuls, and they overdo it.
Well, and some of that's mindless. That's just mindless eating. Like if you get a big bucket of popcorn and you watch people in the movie theater, they're not even paying attention. And so the thing is when you get a healthy, something that you know is healthy for you, like nuts and seeds, the goal is to really do a small handful and then savor each one and like really be kind of mindful about it.
This is my last almond.
You could do it like that.
Not so much like that.
Yeah, you could totally do it like that. And then one thing that I really love, and I just kind of wanted to tuck in here on this one, is the importance of a supplement like ginkgo biloba.
Oh,
which is
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, and sorry, I'm interjecting, but we know that it crosses the blood-brain barrier. And I took my ginkgo this morning. I actually took 2 forms of it, actually. But.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of the best studied plants on the earth. It's been around, and it's one of the longest living species on the planet. And I believe that God put plants here to help human beings be well. And with the high incidence of dementia and Alzheimer's, personally, I believe that if you are taking a ginkgo supplement, especially a liquid one that can cross the blood-brain barrier,
like that,
it goes and absorbs right away. So ginkgo improves circulation to your head, your memory, your hearing, your eyesight. And I really believe that that's one of the things that is going to help prevent dementia in myself. It's something I take every single day. So talking about your brain and all the things you can do, movement is so key.
The next is movement. Stimulation. It's not just movement, because one thing that we know as well, and as Jane talked about, that preventing dementia, you have to have all these 4 pillars.
True.
This is how you prevent dementia. This is how you prevent Alzheimer's. Oxygenation, glucose, maintaining proper glucose balance, stimulation, and then maintaining oxidative stress. So stimulation, we oftentimes think of just movement. I wanted to add too, stimulation is through excellent music.
I agree completely.
That is so stimulatory towards the brain. Did you know your brain starts to waste away when your hearing goes away? So honestly, I had a patient 2 days ago, they said, I haven't been hearing as well. I have to ask people more often, like, what did you say? And I said immediately right away, you go and get that checked out. You go and get that checked out immediately, because we know without that stimulation, your brain starts to waste away without being able to hear.
Right. So yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. So excellent music. And then oxidative stress. I'm going to just put a really quick plug about this, because oxidative stress, we get autoimmunity. There's massive amount of that. Infection, inflammation, and then the big one is emotional stress as well. One of the best things that I still love, and I come back to Barlow Herbal all the time for this, we see phenomenal results. I'm putting a little plug in here. Is that right?
Yeah, sure.
Is with both autoimmunity and these heavy to deal with infections. And what we're seeing more and more is that you're seeing dementia and Alzheimer's on the rise. And a big part of that is we see infection in the brain.
I know.
And we're seeing autoimmunity in the brain, where the body's attacking the brain. And I love the fact how you guys have all your products, and now you're just starting to do some in capsules, but so many of the liquid products, as well as the phenomenal capsules, that we can actually get in and get these deep infections. We're talking about on a blood, when I read a blood lab, these people have been chronic for years, and we're able to change things.
Yeah.
I was telling you about that guy with diabetes.
Yeah.
And we just changed him, and his diabetes was back to an infection. Guess what's happening to his brain? It is being compromised. He'll end up with, he was, more prone to get dementia. Anyway, so those 4 pillars. Again, oxygenation, maintaining proper glucose balance. Number 3 is stimulation, not just movement, but stimulation here, stimulation here, stimulation here, stimulation to the body. And then number 4 is maintaining oxidative stress, maintaining that balance.
Yeah, I love this message, because this has been a really interesting couple of years, because there's been close parents, not only my mom, but both of my husband's parents passed away within the last year and a half, and there was a lot of dementia, and because of the age that I'm getting to be, a lot of my friends' parents are really starting to have be not just be in old age, but be in old age with dementia. It seems so prevalent that but there's prevention. I'm
going to say this. Prevention. Dementia is a disease of choice.
Wow.
You decide right now. You decide if you're going to maintain those 4 pillars that will hold your brain up until you become 90, 100, and have clarity of thought, clarity of mind forevermore.
Who doesn't want that?
It's a choice.
That's what I want. There's a lot of things that I want, and I hope there's a lot of things that you want too, because it can help you live a more vibrant life, be present for your family, contribute to society, and serve others. And who doesn't want to lay down at 100 and close your eyes and go back to heaven, or wherever you believe you're going to go, or who doesn't want to live their last few days of their life like that? So we're kind of going on a little longer than I thought. All right. But thank you again for listening. You guys are awesome. And thank you again. Thank you. I love it when Dr. Nielsen comes by, because we always get some great content to share with you. So I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ciao.